NCAA tournament hopefuls. Finished last year at the upper half of the table, and they look to do so again as Tennessee Tech gets us underway, and the purple kits traveling right to left as Renwick already getting involved as Peyton Urban gets her first touch. We get a chance to introduce you to the first of our two starting goalkeepers presented by Explore Evansville. It was a clean sheet for Peyton Urban on Thursday against Mississippi Valley State. That's her 9th of her career, tied for the 4th most in Little Rock history. Throw in for the Golden Eagles on the far side. Katie Toney with a heavy touch there and cleared away by Sherry Sod. Midfield battle already physical. That was Allison Lee with the challenge there. Megan Rogan getting involved, and a first touch there for Jetney Cook, who finds herself on the right side of this back line in her debut, the freshman from Grand Prairie. Sherry Sod, the Southern University transfer, trying to get Abby Smith forward. That's a good ball and a good first touch from Smith. And good pace tracking back there from the right back Schruffel. Good connection there between Sod and Smith. Gives a home throw here in the attacking third. Senior Cameron Jacobs to take. Here's Serenity Thake, who scored the winner on the road in Conway. Amaya Arias now surveying for an option. Couldn't connect with Thake there, and chance to break here for the Golden Eagles. Good positioning from the freshman Cook. Now the captain, Turner, with the ball over the top. Kildare and Centeno were the targets, but just ran away from the attackers as we introduce you to another debutante, the second of our two starting keepers, presented by Explore Evansville. It's Madison North, a graduate student, first Division I start after a very successful Division II career. It's usually Captain Maggie Conrad in net. Change comes right before the conference season for Corey Boyd. Ball forward there from Meredith Nye. Cook gets clear for the moment, but not all the way out, as Renwick runs onto that harsh challenge there, but a clean one from Turner. And it'll be a throw-in for the Golden Eagles. It'll be a busy day for McKenna Turner against a side that has been the offensive giants of the OVC for 2.5 years running. Tennessee Tech, 14 goals scored in their non-conference slate this year. That's the most of any OVC school so far. Little Rock second in that category with 12. Centeno, heavy touch, gets back to it. Battling now in the middle and loses out to Skylar Williams. It'll be a Tech throw. Ball towards the middle. Sod deals with it initially, still in the area. Toney there was trying to connect with Quadra, still with Katie Toney. And Tech can set up here. Little Rock pinched in their own third. Good boot from Amaya Arias. Centeno has a moment of space before being closed down by Meredith Nye. Nye in her usual center defensive mid role, the senior from Jackson, Tennessee. 4-time All-OVC player, making her 63rd start in her 5th year in Cookeville. As Cook throws it in on her debut and Renwick boots it forward. Header won by Arias, brought down by Smith and Centeno, and now a little bit of space for Kildare. Couldn't pick out Rogan, but gets it back there off of Palia. Kildare looking for Rogan again, unable to connect. That was a stomp there that wasn't spotted there by the first official. A painful one for Centeno, who's still struggling on the other side of the pitch as Little Rock possess. Smith can't connect with Thake. Good touch to keep possession. Little Rock back to the back line with Sod. Turner, heavy touch, takes on one, glides past, and then good switch towards Smith, and she's going to get there. Smith able to keep it in. Wanted to go byline. Good defending from Schruffel. Stands tall. It's an interesting matchup tactically. Both of these sides play the 4-3-3. Neither coach likes to go direct over the top. Both like to play between the lines, possess the majority of the ball. So we'll see who breaks first. Neither team likes to drop back and sit deep. Cameron Jacobs playing on the left today, usually a right back. Gets stuck in there and wins a throw. Another throw for the Trojans. It'll be Jacobs again. 37th start for the fourth-year Trojan, Cameron Jacobs, in her senior campaign. As Centeno tried the skill there. Golden Eagles up to it. Smith can go byline. She's onside as she whips one in, and it's cleared away. Still in the area, though. Centeno is going to have an ambitious strike. Might have been on frame there, but not much trouble for Madison North. It's along the back line here, the Golden Eagles. High press from the Trojans has been causing problems, and they win possession again. Turner trying to send forward Centeno. Claire Paglia in the way. Ball from Serenity Thake towards Centeno. Wanted to chip it through towards Kildare. She might get there. Kildare still in the mix. Dealt with and well done from Ebba Malin to get back. This will be a big day for Malin, the freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, making just her second career start. She played all 90 minutes Sunday at Furman in a 1-1 draw for Tech. It's what Coach Corey Boyd called the most complete match his side has played so far in the campaign. Golden Eagles come into this one on a week's rest. Little Rock with the midweek here on Thursday, the 2-0 victory. As it'll be a first corner kick for either side. It's Sherry Sod here on the near side, out-swinging right-footed cross incoming. Runners on the back post. Turner rises, unable to get there, and it's cleared here with more work to be done. Back to Jacobs, who whips in a ball towards the back post. It's a good one with Kildare as the target. Rogan will have a hit, and not far over the bar. Just leaned back ever so slightly, Megan Rogan there, but an encouraging start here through the first 8 or so minutes for the Trojans. This has been a relatively unbeatable Golden Eagle squad throughout the last 2 years in the conference. As they get forward quickly here, Tony has Williams to the right, plays her in. Chance to cross. Williams' ball, back post. Renwick was waiting, but Peyton Urban climbed well. Peyton Urban, third year as a starter here for the Trojans. Had to split time with Mari Samadi last year in net. Back to the full-time starter. Switch numbers. She is the number one. As Schruffel not going to be able to get to that one. It'll be a Little Rock throw. Trojans continuing to cause problems early. Ball up towards Katie Tony. Couldn't connect with Williams. Instead turns back looking for the switch. Smith pressing. Tony did well to hold up play and find Williams along the flank. Couple step-overs. Jacobs the defender. Williams towards the byline and defended well by the senior. Smith is the outlet. Tried to turn and find Centeno there, but out of play. Tech trying to create here in the attacking third. Tony with back to net. Sherry Sod, the senior, defending. Ball got through, but not all the way as the captain Turner boots clear. Centeno, good touch ahead, and Kildary's free in the middle if Centeno can look up and find her. Good tracking back by Malin, the freshman here, defending Centeno. Good ball towards Thake. Little Rock in a good position here. Rogan staring at the back line. Looking for a shooting angle, can't find it. Thake's ball in was deflected. Allison Lee got in the way, and that's a great ball from Centeno. Smith has time to look up and pick a pass. Cut back. Rogan was there. Crucial intervention from Allison Lee again. It's great defending from the redshirt sophomore Allison Lee. Looks like there was an infraction spotted by the first official, and so it'll be a set piece for Little Rock. More pressure, more opportunities. Sod's ball, Centeno rising. Smith's header towards the back post, and it's off the upright. And Kildare is onside and knocks it home, and Little Rock have the opener against a Tennessee Tech side that's just lost once in the OVC in the last 2 seasons. And they trail as Candace Kildare nets her 3rd of the year. What a start for the Trojans. It seemed as though it was coming. The sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, continues her hot start to the year and picks up a huge goal as the Trojans open things up in the scoring department at home here against Tennessee Tech. There it was. Won't have an easier finish than that after Smith's header knocked off the back post. And you got to give credit where credit is due to the service from Sherry Sod on that set piece. Sod, quality on the set pieces all year, had assisted McKenna Turner from a corner kick earlier in the campaign, and that set piece leads to the opener. So Tennessee Tech now will have to reset. Not a position that they've been in a ton across the OVC slate in the last couple years as they trail here early. Would not be surprised to see more goals in this one. Top 2 offenses across the non-conference schedule, Little Rock and Tennessee Tech. Turner looking for the long ball. Smith was the target. Bella Garrett getting in the way there. Centeno can run onto this one. Gets there initially. Tech looks to get back in position. Centeno tried the through ball there. Was brought down. No whistle. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Foul there. Sherry Sod gets too much of Katie Toney. No booking, just a knock in the middle of the park. So chance for Tech to reset here, get bodies forward on the set piece. Looks as though it'll be Ebba Malin to take. Those are the 2 attackers that cause OVC defenses so many problems there. Katie Toney and Neve Renwick. As the ball booted forward. Gets through to Toney, but Sod defends well. Good outlet there towards Kildare. She lets it play out, and the Trojans will get reset here defensively. Throw for Bella Garrett and the Golden Eagles. Toney, good defending there from Cook. That was nifty from Quadra, but Cook again in position. It's been a bright start for Jetney Cook so far in her full debut as a starter. freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas, all-district in high school. It'll be a busy day for her. Meredith Nye's header there, no targets in the area, and it rolls out for a goal kick. Jacobs looking for Smith. Took up a good position and did well. Rogan tried the return, but Schruffel was in the way. That one's going to run out from Arias and into Renwick's possession. She did well to get it to Skylar Williams on the right. Williams having a run at Jacobs again. Gets the ball in, but Saad positioned well. Been bright defensive work so far for the first-year Trojan, Sherry Saad, who started every match for Little Rock. Good step from Jetney Cook, the freshman. As the fullback Garrett just lets it run out of play. Good ball there from Luthia Quadra. Back to Nye and then back to Schruffel. Tech haven't really been able to settle into the possession that they enjoy usually in the OVC so far. And there's a miscue as Tony's ball is yards behind Williams. Seen Little Rock so far force the Golden Eagles to play a little more direct than they usually like with balls over the top. That's a credit to this Little Rock press defensively. That's caused problems early. Here is Katie Toney, last year's conference forward of the year, as Schruffel boots it forward. Press working again there for Little Rock, as now Quadra can bring it down. And Nye with a good ball towards Lee. That was neater there from Tennessee Tech. Garrett connecting with Tony, who dances away from Arias. Ball in there from Williams, who swapped sides with Renwick. Here's Lee looking for a shooting angle. Quadra can't quite get there. Jacobs did first, and then the captain, McKenna Turner, with a great clearance. Kildare battling for that one, as it'll be out of play. A Little Rock throw. Last touch on Claire Palia, the first-year Golden Eagle and Chattanooga transfer. Good turn from Centeno. Leaves Williams. Oh, great skill from Centeno as she takes on a few Golden Eagles. And then a neat ball to Arias. Fakes first touch, let her down there. Good defensive work again from Meredith Nye. You can see what she brings this Golden Eagles squad. First team All-OVC last year, all-tournament team as well. One of the captains of this group. 63 starts. And 9 career goals from a center defensive mid. That's a good ball ahead, and it would have beat the back line of the Trojans if not for the quick reactions of Peyton Urban there. Quick off of her line as she usually is. Really commands the whole box. Plays as that last defender. Nothing gets in between that back line and Urban usually. Rogan flicks it on. That was brave. Gets it to Kildare. Kildare going to have a run here. Great on 1v1s with the individual skill. Candace Kildare. As Little Rock win possession before Bella Garrett gets back in position. Schruffels ball. Too far for Neve Renwick, who switched to the right side. It'll be a throw here for the visitors. Says a lot about freshman Jetney Cook here on this right side for Little Rock. With a huge task, maybe the toughest task all conference, and she's doing it on her debut. to go up against Neve Renwick, who usually plays on the left. And so far it's been a success for Jetney Cook in this right back role for the Trojans, as the Golden Eagles switch their wingers to see if Renwick can have a run at Cameron Jacobs now on this right side. Urban, no nonsense there with Tony pressing, just boots it out of play. Tennessee Tech have done well to slow the game down a little bit since conceding that opener. Another decisive header there from Jetney Cook. Clears the lines for Little Rock. So they'll have a moment to catch their breath. This is what the Golden Eagles do. They settle into possession and they break teams down by playing passes through the lines. They don't like the long ball. Palia with a good ball to Lee. Looking for options, staring at the Trojans' back line. That's a great ball, and just offside is Neve Renwick, who was through on goal that time. Couldn't have been far offside. Thought that was a well-timed ball from Lee, and that's what you have to look out for. This Golden Eagles side can break out of nothing. So many attacking options. As there's the one from earlier. As you see, the ideas are there from the Golden Eagles. Don't like to play the ball over the top. Usually like to find connections. They have lots of pace up top that can run in behind this Trojans back line. Well done again from Jetney Cook, and then cleared from Sherry Sod. Kildare gets a boot in, still battling, and wins possession. Fake back to the captain, Turner. Good ball to Smith, who popped up in a nice position. Smith trying to go over the top to Centeno. It's a good ball. Centeno got to it as North did, out of net, and that was really dangerous. Good goalkeeping in the end from North, who got enough on that. Here comes Renwick. Got the better of Jacobs and now cuts inside and taken down by Turner. That's going to be a free kick for the Golden Eagles. You see that the threat that they pose on the counter, how quickly they can break, and this will be a set piece in a dangerous position. McKenna Turner with a tactical foul there and a brief talking to from the first official. Just a stock foul and a free kick there. Late, didn't get the ball, got the player. Turner, the senior from Papillion, Nebraska, in her second year here in Little Rock. Somebody that Kelly Farrell says can be the best defender in the conference. Ball towards the back post. Good defending, Jetney Cook. There were options there in behind. Allison Lee was the primary target there. But the freshman in the right spot again. Over to take the corner, Lucia Quadra, graduate student from Barcelona, Spain. Couple of years at the D2 level. This is one of the key newcomers that the Golden Eagles have brought in, the center attacking midfielder. She'll whip this one in. Options in the area. Lee is there. Renwick rose, and it'll be a goal kick. That was a great ball from Quadra, one to attack, which Renwick did, but it was defended well in the end.
Substitution for Tennessee Tech in number 21, Tori Satuyo. Out number 19, Skylar Williams. Little Rock sub.
This will be an attacking change for both sides. Tori Sotuyo coming on for Skylar Williams. Sotuyo will go to the right side, and Neve Renwick will have another go at Jetney Cook here on this near side, this left side for the Golden Eagles. Sotuyo, fresh off the bench for the Golden Eagles, has enjoyed this fixture. She scored against Little Rock in that semifinal 325 days ago. A game that knocked Little Rock out of the OVC tournament. And on for Little Rock up top is their leading goal scorer here pressing this one, Maria Schuller, the hometown freshman. from here in Little Rock. 3 goals on the year for Schuller off the bench, with 1 assist as well. She has 1 goal involvement every 78 minutes, Schuller. So a couple of different looks up top for each side. Have to see how Renwick gets along back on this left side here against Jetney Cook. And then Sotuyo on the right. Good defending there from Turner. Finds Megan Rogan. Good skill in the middle of the park. And a nice ball towards Kildare. And just like that, the midfield's broken down. Kildare can run at the back line here. Fake. Good ball to Megan Rogan. Surveying for options. Wanted the switch towards Smith. That might be overhit. And just offside was Abby Smith that time, past the last defender there for Tech. But a good idea. Trojan attackers will be looking to hold up their runs a little bit better than Thursday. They were caught offside 18 times against Mississippi Valley. And that 2-0 victory. Fake with a thumping header towards Schuller. She goes in. Good defensive work from Palia. And it's back with Malin and now back with Madison North. Dispossessed, and here's Thake. Real chance, and Thake just leaned back ever so slightly. A chance that the Australian would love to have back there, as it was a rare giveaway from Meredith Nye. And you'd have to think after that the defending regular season champs are the happier of the two sides to get a brief reprieve here with the drinks break. So we will step aside here momentarily at the halfway point here in the first half, as you see the chance there from Thake. Real good shooting position, just leaned back. Too much backspin on the ball over the bar. But Little Rock with a bright start. They lead things 1-0 over the defending regular season champs at home.
Sportsmanship. Student-athlete success in and out of the classroom.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Competitive excellence. Energized fans. Community involvement. Sportsmanship. Student-athlete success in and out of the classroom. That's OVC leadership, and it isn't new to us. We've been doing it for more than 75 years. It's time to OVC it. The Ohio Valley Conference, fiercely independent since 1948.
Welcome back inside the Coleman Sports Complex here in Little Rock as we continue along here in first half action in the OVC opener between the Golden Eagles and the Trojans. It's been a bright start for Little Rock. Tennessee Tech have been beaten just once in the last 2 seasons in OVC regular season play, but they find themselves trailing to the Trojans here, as it was Candace Kildare on the right of your screen there who opened things up for the Trojans on a rebound. Abby Smith's header hit the back post and then came back out. It was an easy tap-in finish for Kildare, who picked up her 3rd goal of the season. And it's Little Rock, who were picked in the preseason poll to finish 4th in the conference, who lead against the preseason favorites, Tennessee Tech. As we get a second substitution for the home side, Ruth Berrigan, the freshman from Indio, California, stepping in for Megan Rogan, who's put in a nice shift as a center attacking mid so far. 8th start of the year for Rogan, who gets a rest. Berrigan was one of the top 20 players in the Valley in 2022. She started twice, somebody that Coach Farrell said didn't get the exposure that she should have in her high school days, as Tech trying to reset here. That was brave from Arias, who stuck her head in, won it. And now Schuller with good pace going to have a run and get to that one first. Still Schuller, the freshman. Brave there, continues on into the area. Heavy touch. Kildare. Arias couldn't connect there with Berrigan. That was bright from Little Rock, but they'll have to get back and defend here, a potential counter. Meredith Nye, first team All-OVC last year. Good ball ahead to the newcomer, Luthia Quadra. The substitute, Sotuyo. Calm from Tech. Resetting things, trying to slice their way through this Little Rock defensive side. Coach Corey Boyd praised Little Rock for their defensive organization. It's really the identity of this Trojan side under Kelly Farrell, who took charge in 2022. Their defensive first side. They've seen more clean sheets, shutouts than they have in previous seasons. They're known across the conference as a tough side to break down, and that gets even tougher after the early goal. Great strength shown there from Jetney Cook, who has really impressed on her debut so far on this near side in that right back role. Was able to shrug off last year's OVC Forward of the Year that time. Kildare. Berrigan underhit that one, and Renwick's onto it. Here's Quadra. Renwick running. Pretty crucial intervention that time from Turner, the captain. And a good ball to Jacobs, the senior. She has time to run. Wanted to find Smith. Not enough diagonal on that one. Tries the second time, but out of play. Throw in here for Sam Schruffel, the redshirt freshman, making her third start in her Golden Eagle career. Here is McKenna Turner, 6 points on the year. That's 10th most in the OVC. And that's as a center back. Cook battling with Renwick. Cook winning out. Renwick getting a foot in. And then Cook committing the foul after giving possession away. There, Tony going down. So the visitors will once again send bodies forward here. Looks as though it'll be Claire Palia to take the set piece. As bodies congregate towards this back post here. Lots of purple shirts. Renwick. Tony in the mix. Palia's ball is central and just overhit for potential runners there and out for a goal kick. This has been an impressive first half here at home for the Trojans, limiting the OVC's best offense to just one shot on net so far. Saad playing out of the back. Good ball to Fake, who's picked up a good position. Turner to Cook. Renwick closing down. Turner wanting to go for the long ball there, unable to connect with Schuller, and that'll be an inadvertent handball there near the halfway mark, as that one knocked off the wrist there of Allison Lee. Schuller, Smith, and Fake along the back post. Chance for Sherry Saad, the senior transfer, to knock one forward. And that one does find Fake. Arias first time ball towards Jacobs. Good pressing there from Sotuyo. Forces the pass back. Turner looking for options. Wanted to find Fake, I believe, but Nye was in the way. Tech letting Little Rock possess here, looking to counter. Berrigan giveaway. Lee calming things down. Back to the keeper, North. Smith pressing and ball clear. Fake got a touch, only as far as Schruffel. Good pressing there and tracking back from Serenity Fake. Same done from Neve Renwick, though, on Turner. And that'll be a free kick as Berrigan fouled Allison Lee there. That's what Neve Renwick does. Not just a goal scorer, but tracking back defensive help for Renwick, who leads the OVC with 6 goals. Back post ball, Cook rose for the header. Quadra trying to find Tony. Cook again in the way, and that's going to be a high boot there on Tony. Pace has slowed down here in the first half since Little Rock opened things up. This is a Little Rock side that has enjoyed recent success under head coach Kelly Farrell, who took charge before the 2022 campaign. Took charge in May of 2022, so didn't have much time in terms of recruiting before that 2022 season. Still managed to win 5, lost 7 in 2022, and drew 5 games as well. As here, Luthia Quadra going to take a rest here for Reagan Smiley, the junior from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. The third-year Golden Eagle hasn't seen the pitch as much this year. She's been battling injury, but she's made her mark on this particular fixture in recent memory. She scored here at the Coleman Sports Complex 2 years ago in that final regular season game that completed Tennessee Tech's undefeated season. It was a crucial goal from Smiley, as there was a foul spotted there in the middle of the park. Just falling down there from Renwick. Here is Smiley. And now Nye doing what she does best and just has that ball on her foot like it's stuck to it. Good play from the center defensive midfielder. Under pressure. Unable to connect there with Truffle. Instead goes back to her center half. Tech connecting well here. Trying to break down the Trojans, who have had to use a lot of energy here defending. That was a poor ball. Kildare jumped onto it, but getting back to it that time was Bella Garrett. Jetney Cook in the mix. Kildare now tried to take on Garrett. She stood strong. Good ball from Arias there. That was a great first touch. Kildare, chance to run in now. Early ball to Scholler, looking for a shooting angle. Scholler has a strike and just got underneath that one. Great play there from the Trojans. That chance was sprung forward from Amaya Arias from that number 6 role. Arias, 2-time All-OVC, still looking for her first goal involvement this year. As Tech continue to try and play through the lines here of the Trojans. It's a good ball out wide to Schruffel, who has tons of space here. Tech have broken the midfield down. They've created some overlaps. There's some options. So Tuyo looking for the ball. Arias got back. Berrigan stuck a foot in. No free kick, but Tech still possess. Tony here, now moved to the left. Taking on Cook. Last year's attacker of the year. Tony. Cook got back well. Brave defending from the freshman, Jetney Cook, who has had an outstanding first half. And remind you, her first career start at the Division I level. Initially got beat, but as all good fullbacks are able to do, got back and blocked the cross. This has been a coming out party for Jetney Cook. The freshman from Grand Prairie has really impressed so far. Up against the side that has dominated offensively in the OVC the last 2 seasons. Corner kick here, Tony towards the back post. Headed back, and Renwick was the target. Now a hit from outside the area. Defended well. Still not clear as it's back in towards Tony. But that is going to be a injury here as Amaya Arias is down. Not what you want to see. She's battled some knocks through the non-conference slate. One of the busiest players on the pitch every time out for the Trojans. Just be holding her right side there as the clock is stopped here in Little Rock. Arias in some discomfort. Not what you want to see. Arias, who started every game for Little Rock, as she will jog to the bench to get some treatment. See what happened here. Arias got the clearance in there. We'll see. It was probably the shot. Yeah, it was the shot there that came out. Seemed to just go off the right side there of Arias. So took the sting there that defensive midfielders have to so much. It looks like she'll try and come back in soon. Maggie Turner there, the freshman, also readying herself to come on for Little Rock, as it'll be a drop ball here. And I think that Tennessee Tech will be interested to claim this. It's an interesting moment here. It looks like McKenna Turner wants to claim it as well. Usually on an injury there with Tech in possession, they give that to Tech. And I think Turner did give the first touch there to Katie Toney and then stuck a foot in. This one falls here, and Renwick in a shooting position just past the far post. You don't see Neve Renwick, the OVC's leading goal scorer, miss too many of those chances. As fresh off the bench, Tori Sotuyo played a great ball in, and that was the first real chance for the Golden Eagles, who have been kept relatively at bay so far, but that is the threat that they possess. As you see there, great ball. And Renwick one-on-one with the keeper. Urban making herself big, and by a matter of inches, the Trojans still leading 1-0. Golden Eagles continuing the pressure. Cleared by Saad. Again out by Saad. Great first touch from Smith. Schuller can look up and find a ball. That one runs through Cam Jacobs, and it's out of play. Tennessee Tech upping the pressure here with 7 minutes left until the break. Schuller defending well. Jacobs gets to that one. Smith trying to find a pass. Jacobs clears. Be another throw here for the visitors. They've been able to pinch the Trojans here in their own half for the last 5 or so minutes. They've been able to slow down the game since conceding early. They've really settled into their possession style play since going down. It's a heavy touch there, but nice recovery from Allison Lee to get away from Maggie Turner there pressing. Turner, just her second appearance of the year. Or third, pardon, for the freshman. As Renwick will have a hit. Not going to trouble Peyton Urban too much, who stays low and makes the save. 3 clean sheets on the year for Peyton Urban, who does so many things well as a keeper. Great shot stopper as well. Great distribution from the goalkeeper position for Urban. 9 clean sheets on the career, tied for the 4th most in Little Rock history. Has enjoyed a brilliant career so far in Little Rock. Arias doing well to shepherd away Renwick, and then Saad clears. Schuller in the mix there again, and Arias first to it. Kildare, great ball. Berrigan looking for another. Little Rock's leading goal scorer, Schuller, out wide to Smith in space. She'll have a run here at Truffle. Great dribbling and great pace from Smith. In towards the area, and that flashed across the net, but no targets on the back post. But looks like Candace Kildare able to show a burst of pace and keep that in play. Kildare having a go and dropping back to Jetney Cook. She can whip one in. That's a good ball. Flicked on. Here's Schuller. Just unable to keep the shot down. That was better from Little Rock, who have defended more of these two sides in the last 10 minutes or so, but you saw how they can break as Abby Smith will get a rest. Jetney Cook continuing to have her name all over this fixture. That was a great flick from the freshman Turner to set up Schuller. Freshman connection up top for Maggie Turner. Ball over the top. Not usually Tennessee Tech's tactic, but they set forward Renwick. Renwick looking for an angle. Well defended from Turner, the captain. That'll be a matchup that will continue all afternoon. A 1v1 to look forward to. Tony taking on Berrigan towards the byline. And it'll be a goal kick there as the former forward of the year in the OVC just running out of room there before able to get the cross in. Good defending from Ruth Berrigan. Couple of substitutions. You see Kate Benny, the senior, usually a fullback. She'll get time as a right winger. As you see this one-on-one matchup between one of the front runners for Defender of the Year in the OVC, McKenna Turner, and Neve Renwick, the leading goal scorer in the OVC. As Renwick has now moved up top as a striker, with Tony moving to the left and Sotuyo on the right. With Reagan Smiley as the center attacking mid here. Tennessee Tech going with a little bit of a different look after conceding here in the first half. Battle here between Garrett and Benny. Heavy touch there. It falls for Tiana Jones, who also came off the bench, the freshman. And that's a great first idea there from Jones, who saw Turner running in. A lot of youth up top for Little Rock. You got Berrigan as a center attacking mid freshman, and then Maria Schuller as well, with Tiana Jones, the freshman up top, and Maggie Turner, a freshman along the left wing. A new look for both of these sides really in this one. Renwick, good ball ahead to Smiley. Good connection here from the visitors. Renwick might have a hit here. Lines it up. Good save there from Urban. Stayed low. That was a neat connection there from the visitors to create that chance, but it'll take something a bit stronger to beat Peyton Urban. It's a good strike from Renwick. Able to get it on net first and foremost and force Urban down to make the save. Tony to Sotuyo, and then ball was intended for Neve Renwick again, but runs through to Urban. Under 2 minutes now to the break, and the antics there of Peyton Urban. You see, she is in no hurry to get this going. Up 1-0. Ball ran out of play there before Benny could get a touch. Tennessee Tech trying to up the tempo here. Find the equalizer before the break. Tony. Good ball. Here's Lee. Good pressing from Tiana Jones and Ruth Berrigan. Forces Tech back to the back line. Space here for Garrett. Tony as an option. Garrett cutting inside. And Jetney Cook there again. Crunching challenge from the freshman. Tons of youth on the field here for Little Rock. It's a young Tech team as well, with 7 freshmen. Schuller sliding in. Jacobs getting involved. Numbers here for the Trojans. Schuller can turn here. 40 seconds left in the half. Kate Benny's in loads of space on the near side. And that ball was overhit, and Benny's going to have to chase and just keep this in play. Still options. Benny, front post, and it's cleared. That was a great opportunity for Little Rock. Schuller just unable to look up and find Benny there earlier. She was in a great position. The fullback turned winger here. And now 15 seconds for the Trojans as they'll take their time as Jetney Cook will get over to this one. What a storyline here in Little Rock. The Trojans preseason picked to finish 4th, leading at home against the defending 2-time regular season champions. Just the one change for Corey Boyd as we get the second half underway here. Thake gets us underway. One change for Corey Boyd is in the goalkeeper position. It's Maggie Conrad, the junior, the 4th-year Golden Eagle. Somebody who we were a little surprised didn't get the starting nod for Tennessee Tech. As here's Centeno enjoying some possession in the attacking third. Arias connecting with Jacobs. Abby Smith now wants to have a run. Travels towards the byline. Good pace from Smith. Gets a ball in, but not enough on it that time. Defended there by the freshman Malin. Crashing in is Centeno, winning possession back. Jada Centeno looking for Kildare there, unable to connect. Thake. Headed away by Malin. Not clear. Kildare went down hard there, back to her feet. Here's Rogan. Back to Jetney Cook. Cook looking for Kildare. Just under hit that one. And Bella Garrett's going to let it roll out for a goal kick. Mentioned, kind of shocked to see Maggie Conrad not start, the junior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the 4th-year Golden Eagle, who was an OVC all-newcomer in 2022 after redshirting her freshman year in 21. Last year, Conrad had the 5th best save percentage in program history at 827, and she had started out this year quite nicely as well with 64 saves. That's the most of any keeper in the OVC, so a little bit surprised not to see Conrad start, but she'll get 45 here in the latter half of this one. Numbers here, Renwick to Katie Toney, last year's forward of the year. Toney looking for space. Cook defending. And Toney forced back here. Unable to find the ball. We'll have to go all the way back to the fullback, Bella Garrett, who plays back to Palia. Good defending there from Little Rock, turning away Toney that time. Arias in the way of Renwick, who showed some frustration there. Well-timed ball from Rogan. Space for Smith. Wanted the early ball towards Centeno. Good step from Ebba Malin. Looks like McKenna Turner, the captain for Little Rock, starting on the bench. Kaylee Cuff getting her first minutes in that center back position. This will be huge minutes for the freshman as that switch will run through to Maggie Conrad in net. Saw McKenna Turner laboring a little bit past the dugout during the halftime mark. Thought that she would be okay to continue. It's not the case. We'll see how long, if she gets back into this one, it'll take. But for the meantime, it's the freshman from Saskatoon, Canada, Kaylee Cuff. And a very big contest here. A couple of first-year Trojans as the center back pair. Space to run for Schruffel, looking for the ball in. Brave defending from Cuff, who gets ahead to it and clears. Little Rock able to hold Tennessee Tech to just 3 shots in the first half. Not something that the Golden Eagles have been used to as of late. That was tidy from Renwick. Here's Quadra looking for the ball in. That time towards Smiley, unable to find her. Back out in a chance, and not able to get the right connection on that was Allison Lee. But pockets starting to open up here for the Golden Eagles. Both of these sides don't like to go direct. They like to play from back to front and play short passes and connect in this 4-3-3 formation. That one's going to fall to Abby Smith as a player down here for the Golden Eagles. Smith continues. Here's Kildare. Able to keep that one in play initially before it runs out right along the corner flag for a throw. As it was Bella Garrett, the player who picked up a knock, but she'll go over to take the throw. She still seems to be laboring a bit on that right ankle area. Garrett, the senior from Harrodsburg, Kentucky. See if she can continue. Renwick getting involved. Lee battling with Thake for a header. Centeno using her body well and winning her side of throw. Great strength from Jada Centeno, the striker for this Little Rock side. Second-year Trojan. After a couple successful years at Arizona Western College, she was a junior college All-American. As that one's cleared only as far as Rogan, battling with Quadra, who won the header, but Trojans will take possession of the ball through Kaylee Cuff. It's a big potential 45 minutes here for Cuff, the freshman, who's on in place of the captain Turner, who was laboring at the half. Good first touch from Centeno, trying to outpace the center half Malin. That's a harsh but clean challenge there from Malin, and then some extra there from Centeno after the fact, and the first official over to Centeno, and that will be a booking. No surprise there from the first official there, Lawrence Hale. As you see the challenge, just shoulder to shoulder there. That's clean, and then, yeah, that'll get you a booking every time there for Centeno. Clear as day. A little bit of physicality from the Trojans, who mentioned at the half had the third fewest fouls in the nation. That one might count double. Conrad boots it clear on the goal kick. Rogan in the mix, as to is Reagan Smiley, who's seeing the pitch more after coming back from injury for the Golden Eagles. Smiley scored here 2 years ago in the last match between these two sides at Coleman. Going on a run here, Katie Toney. Jetney Cook in the mix. That one out of play, and a throw in here for the visitors. They have upped the pace here in the first 8 or so minutes of this second half as they look for the equalizer. Here is Katie Toney, defended by Cook. And that's going to be a free kick. Jetney Cook getting too much there of Toney. Cook enjoyed a very good performance in the first 45 minutes. First start for the freshman, as, yeah, that'll be a free kick. Just getting the arm extended there along the hip of Toney. So a set-piece opportunity. It looks like Claire Palia, the center back, up from the back line to take this, and lots of options in the area here. Tech is sending bodies forward. 6 bodies inside the 18. Towards the front post, Cook clears. Chance to get it back in there from Garrett towards the back post. Renwick was there. Rogan rose for the header. Renwick back in, still in. Chance for Toney. Brought it down inside the 18. And a chance to strike, and it was a good block there from Arias, and Renwick wanted to have a hit there with the weak foot. And it was errant, but Tennessee Tech get to it and recycle. Good defending from Thake to expand after Little Rock were pinched into their own area. Here's Toney now. Cook tracking back. Garrett with the ball in. Too close to the net there. Unable to find any of the targets inside the area. So a chance to breathe here for the Trojans after absorbing some pressure there from the Golden Eagles. Here is the freshman, Kaylee Cuff. That one's booted clear. Last touch on Ebba Malin. Centeno, after picking up the booking, went in hard there on Quadra, but maintains possession. Good skill from Centeno, and a well-timed ball to Smith. Schruffel is chasing. Smith, chance to whip one in. That was good defending there from Claire Palia. Still in the mix, though, with Kildare. Great skill from Candace Kildare, but good recovery from Garrett. Bella Garrett with a crucial intervention there. Jacobs gets to that first, but it'll roll out. Only question, goal kick or throw in, and that'll be a goal kick there as it was just along the byline side there of the corner flag. That was a real chance there for the Trojans, maybe the first of the second half. The redshirt sophomore Claire Palia, who's been busy this afternoon getting in the way. Here she is again, clearing the lines. Arias bravely in there with the header. Centeno uses the body well. Centeno has a hit. Smith was in the area, and good defending from the freshman, Ebba Malin. Both center halves showing their prowess here on the back line for Tennessee Tech. A couple of crucial interventions. This was a great idea there. I think Smith was the target inside the area as she was along the back post. Tough ball for Conrad to deal with as she applauds the effort. Looks like Jada Centeno will come off after entering the book there and picking up the yellow card. Maria Schuller, the top scorer, is in. And then positive cameo for Kaylee Cuff, who went in for 10 or so minutes there to give McKenna Turner a rest, but good sign for the Trojans, the captain Turner back on. Sod's ball in, Arias rose, and there's a back post option. It was Megan Rogan that was waiting to hit that, but a crucial intervention there, and it was from the attacking midfielder, Reagan Smiley, who cleared that one away. Another good service from Sherry Sod, who has continued to cause problems here on set pieces for this Tennessee Tech back line. Saad, the senior from Montreal, jogs from corner flag to take this one. It'll be an in-swinger here with the right. Ball towards the area. Arias again was the target and just beyond the reach of the jumping midfielder. Jacobs back in. Smith trying to get a flick. Arias pleading for a corner, and it will be another corner, so pressure not off for Tennessee Tech, who won't be able to clear their lines without a clearance here on the set piece. Ninth start of the year for Sherry Sod, who will take this one. She has done a huge job in coming in after Sanaa Williams went back to England after last year. Ball in, Schiller in the mix. Katie Toney, the attacker, doing well, and she's brought down there. That'll be a free kick for Tennessee Tech. As this is just a absolute fight inside the area for possession. Toney and Schiller there, and then Schiller just getting too much that time. Free kick all the way at any part of the pitch, but especially as an attacker in the defensive 18-yard box. Header won by Kildare, down to Thake. Back to Kildare, Australian connection there, and then ahead to the freshman Schiller. Good step over and reception from Schiller. She looks for the pass. Thake to Rogan, hits it first time. That was a nifty chance there created from the Trojans, but a tough ball to hit as it was bouncing as it came to Megan Rogan. She was unable to keep it down, but more encouraging signs here for Little Rock offensively.
Tennessee Tech substitution in number 22, Preston Morales. Out number 2, Reagan Smiley.
As Reagan Smiley takes a break, Tori Sotuyo, the sophomore, back on. Sotuyo will be looking to score against Little Rock again. She scored in that semifinal in which Tech knocked Little Rock out last year. She'll be looking for another bright moment against the Trojans. Lots of recent history between these two sides. We've seen some physicality early on in this second half. This is going to be an absolute battle here as we enter the latter stages in the last half hour or so. Neatly done there from Little Rock, and a good idea from Cook, trying to find Schuller. Those two usually able to connect as Amaya Arias calms things down in possession, gets it to Cook, who gets it to Saad, who delivers a great service to Schuller. Options in the area, Smith among them. Schuller has a ball in. Smith tried to bring it down, unable to do so, but Trojans still in the attacking third. Rogan dispossessed by Luthia Quadra. So Tuyo did well. First teamer last year, Nye. It's a harsh challenge there from Cook, and that'll be a free kick. Stoppage here from the first official, and that's going to be a booking for Chetney Cook. That wasn't the first late challenge from Cook, who's been busy this afternoon. And she enters the book there for that challenge on Tony. Get a replay of it. Bit of a cynical challenge there with the toe on the back of the heel there of Tony. No real effort to get the ball, so Cook is the second Trojan to enter the book. Set piece here for Claire Palia. Booted forward past Thake to Quadra, who touches it down to Tony. Cook trying to get some redemption against Tony here. And that's going to be a corner kick. Last touch on Cook. Good defending, but good work from Tony that time. Katie Tony, first player ever from Tennessee Tech to win the OVC Forward of the Year. This is a school that's been in the OVC since 2000. Ball in. Renwick is there, gets the flick, still in the area, and it's cleared off the line. Serenity Thake still not out, and Renwick's header out for a goal kick. That was heroic from Serenity Thake, who scored the winner against Central Arkansas in the rivalry matchup 2 weeks ago. Thake provides hero here at the other end, as that ball was destined to enter the back of the net. Cameron Jacobs, the senior, taking a rest, and Kate Benny, senior for senior, on number 7 in that left back position for the Trojans.
Little Rock substitution. In number 11, Ruth Berrigan. Out number 6, Serenity Thake.
So that'll be Serenity Thake's last touch for the moment as she takes a rest, and the freshman Ruth Berrigan comes on to replace in the middle of the park for Little Rock. Trojans looking for their first victory against Tennessee Tech under Kelly Farrell, who took charge in 2022. Benny welcomed into the game with a really harsh challenge there from Tori Sotuyo. Inadvertent and no booking, and Benny back to her feet. Fresh off the bench. Welcomed in at full speed, the senior from San Antonio, Texas. That one up top towards Smith. Schruffel gets the initial header, not clear, and now Malin gets it booted out. Quadra down to Sotuyo. Benny pressing. It's a good ball, but Arias is to it first. Kildare connecting with Maria Schuller, who had a hit that was blocked. Berrigan in the mix. And out to Quadra. Great first touch from Quadra. Williams now tried the first-time ball, and Renwick would have been in if not for the good positioning of the senior McKenna Turner. Neatly done from Allison Lee to spring forward Quadra, and then Renwick. Good help there from Turner, as that'll be a free kick for Little Rock. I think Maria Schuller wanted the advantage there. She got the better of Bella Garrett, but play called back there from the first official. Sod's ball flicked on from Smith, but nobody there on the back post. Bright idea and another good ball on a set piece from Sherry Sod, who has had a terrific game so far this afternoon, but still a long way away from a clean sheet and a victory. Very rarely is this Tennessee Tech side held scoreless in conference play. Goal kick, header won initially by Smith, and the press is on. Rogan's ball was towards Smith, but Truffle was positioned well. Trojans starting to be the side that asks more questions here in the second half. Tennessee Tech have had a couple of chances since the break, but nothing too grand. Here comes Smith towards the byline. Chance to whip one in. Plenty of time for Smith, who cut inside to her right there. And it was good defending in the end from Meredith Nye, four-time All-OVC recipient, three-time second team, and last year was first team and all-tournament team. A rest for the goal scorer, Candace Kildare, and some height for the set piece with Maggie Turner. Both Turner sisters will be targets here inside the area. McKenna and Maggie in the 18. Sod's ball towards the center dot. Oh, flicked on, but nobody home on the back post. Schiller will have to chase, and she'll run out of room. That'll be a goal kick. Can't say enough about the service today from Sherry Sod, from each corner flag or from set pieces towards the middle of the park. She has delivered chance after chance for the Trojans. Tennessee Tech sticking to the game plan. Trying the long ball, something they don't usually go to. Jetney Cook, the freshman, in the way. This will be a battle up top there between Smith and Garrett. Garrett wins out, but gets it only as far as Cook. Great ball towards the central Megan Rogan, who wanted to hit that on the half volley. Got underneath it. Megan Rogan, the second-year Trojan from St. Charles, has already surpassed her minute mark of last year after suffering a torn ACL in the build-up to 2023. She has come back strong here in 2024. Here's Smith. Great ball from Rogan. Smith looking for Schiller there, but too much weight, and easy pickings for Maggie Conrad. Trojans have looked sharp since the break, particularly since McKenna Turner came back on after a 10-minute rest. Tech trying to break down this Little Rock defense, and again, unable to do so. Forced to the long ball, and another giveaway. Little Rock can go again. Turner's ball towards Arias, intercepted well from Quadra. Benny's ball towards Berrigan. Still battle for possession. Rogan wins out. Chance to send Smith. That ball just needed to be a little more central there from Rogan. You see the idea. Smith had the step there on Bella Garrett, but Rogan's ball just not precise enough.
Substitution, Tennessee Tech. In number 6, Katie Tony. Out number 21, Tori Satuyo.
Tori Satuyo coming off for Katie Tony, who had a brief rest. And Serenity Thake back on as well. A couple of starters back on for each side as Megan Rogan gets a rest. Misstep there, and Berrigan can jump onto this one after Lee gave it away. Here's Thake off the bench. First time ball is a beauty towards Turner, who was just unable to reach the boot out and get to that one. Good goalkeeping from Maggie Conrad. Tech have had some trouble breaking this press here that the Trojans have deployed here in the second half. Here's Nye under pressure. No pressure for the first team All-OVC player from a year ago. Here is the Spaniard Quadra. Great release there for Tony, but look at the burst of pace from Kate Benny. Great defending from the senior to get back and knock that one out of play. Back to net here for Neve Renwick, who can create a chance out of nothing. Brought down, no free kick. The visitors' bench wanted a whistle, didn't get it, and now Maria Schuller can chase this. And look at the pace from the freshman. Schuller, first touch is a good one, sets herself up inside the area, has a hit, and that is tremendous last-ditch defending there from Claire Palia. But you see what Maria Schuller, the freshman, and the Trojans' leading goal scorer can bring out of nothing here on the counter. Great touch there into the area. Gets the step on the center half, who has been otherwise brilliant today. Don't think that would have troubled Conrad's net, but good defending nonetheless. As Schuller will get a rest here as Jada Centeno, the starter, comes back on. Sherry Sod set to take the corner. Whipped in, good ball, still in the area. Back in, inside the 6. Benny had a shot. Still in the mix for the Trojans, and now clear. Sod beaten to that one, and Renwick can break here. You see the pace of the OVC's leading goal scorer. Just needs options in support. Great defending from Berrigan. Used her body well. First official, no whistle, and Maggie Turner, the freshman, can break. Good defending from Nye, as this game has just opened up a little bit in recent moments. Tony wants the switch. Williams the target. Turner in the way. Out of play for a Tennessee Tech throw. Things will get more chaotic and free, open flowing here in the last 19 and a half minutes as Tennessee Tech try and get the equalizer. Not usually a position that the Golden Eagles are in, trailing here in a conference match. It's with Katie Tony. Gets the turn on Benny. That's a great turn from Tony. And Benny did well to get back. It will be a corner. Nice work from the senior Benny. Played a little bit of time today in the right winger spot. Also doing a good job as a left back and a right back. Ball towards the middle. Nye was there. It's going to fall, and it's off the line again. Serenity Thake in the way. Saves the Trojans. Second goal line clearance for the midfielder Thake. Keeps things 1-0. Golden Eagles still attacking here. End-to-end stuff in Little Rock. Ball in from Williams. Out by Turner. Smith brings it down. Berrigan will have to chase, and she's not going to be able to get there. And that will take us to the drinks break here in the second half. Still 1-0 with 18 minutes remaining. It should be exciting here as the preseason OVC frontrunners, defending regular season champions, have just over 18 minutes to try and find the equalizer in Little Rock. We'll step aside momentarily, and when we come back, the final 18 at the Coleman Sports Complex in Little Rock. Second half drinks break here at the Coleman Sports Complex. Little Rock leading 1-0. Not a position that the Golden Eagles are used to being in recent memory. The back-to-back regular season champions have been held scoreless in the regular season just twice in the last 2 years. Little Rock 18 minutes away from being the third side. It was Lindenwood in 2022 in a 0-0 draw. And then a 0-0 draw against SIU Edwardsville in October of last year. The last 2 times that Tennessee Tech have been held scoreless in OVC play. The separator, a Candace Kildare goal in the 15th minute of this one. That put Little Rock on top, and they have yet to look back since. But this should be a wide open last 18 minutes. There have been a few chances, most of Tennessee Tech's chances coming outside of the box. Long-range efforts from Neve Renwick, saved by Peyton Urban. There have been some chances for Little Rock in the second half as well. This has been much more of an end-to-end contest. The typical tactics of both of these teams are pretty similar. They both enjoy the 4-3-3 formation. They don't like to play balls over the top. They like to possess the majority of the ball and slowly break down their opponents. But a lot of that goes out of the window here in the latter stages of these contests as it becomes a real test of endurance. Saw the game open up just a bit with more players going on sprints. And this is a true test of stamina here in the 90-plus temperatures here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Lots of running here from both sides. Berrigan did well. Up ahead to Maggie Turner, the freshman, who wins the throw for Little Rock. Trojans lead 10-7 in the shots category. Tech have put more on net, though, with 4 to the Trojans' 2. Tennessee Tech have to feel a bit unlucky after a couple of goal line clearances from Serenity Thake, the attacking midfielder who's usually on that back post during corner kicks and set pieces. Thake has come up huge in this second half to deny the Golden Eagles twice right off the line. Tech continuing to be patient and try and break this Little Rock side down. We've seen them go to the ball over the top a bit more. Maybe that's just them trying to utilize the pace of Katie Toney and Neve Renwick up top and set them free. Renwick there would love to get on the score sheet. Already 6 goals in the first 10 matches for Tennessee Tech. That's more than double what anyone else in the conference has. Here's Renwick again, trying to find Quadra, but Jetney Cook with the intervention. Kildare gives it back to Quadra. Tech trying to up the pace here. Cameron Jacobs back in for Little Rock. The senior slid into right back position, and Jetney Cook moved back to the left back. Here's Lee. Dispossessed by Arias, did well enough to get it back to Garrett, who knocks that one forward towards Peyton Urban. As you see it get later, we'll see that Urban, with this result, is happy to take as many precious seconds off the clock as she can. A Tennessee Tech side that's only lost 1 conference game in the regular season in the past 2 years. Berrigan with a great first touch towards Centeno. Great first touch ball towards Turner, who's going to get there and just unable to get that first touch on it. Kildare going to have a hit. Open net and just past the back post there and past the diving Maggie Conrad, who was off of her line. But is happy to see that one go wide. Real chance there. Little unfortunate for the freshman Maggie Turner that she wasn't able to get the touch there. Good effort from the Australian Kildare, who has already bagged 1 goal. Trying to catch Conrad there off of her line. Unable to get it on net by a matter of a few feet. So quarter hour to go here in Little Rock. Good step from McKenna Turner. Boots that forward, and it'll be easily grabbable there for Maggie Conrad, who was off the bench for the first time this year and came in at the half. Palia's ball past the intended target, and McKenna Turner, no nonsense defending, boots that clear. Jada Centeno trying to get in the mix, and Centeno already on a yellow, needs to be careful there. Was late on the sliding challenge. Good bit of sportsmanship there between Centeno and Claire Palia. Centeno really needs to be careful now. Was booked for a challenge after the whistle on Ebba Malin, who is taking the set piece now. A couple more big challenges. Could see a second yellow for Centeno, but I do believe there's a sub readying with that thought in mind right there. Great job by Fake to keep the ball in play and find Centeno, looking for Turner, who never turned and found that ball. Little Rock continuing their press. Bella Garrett now for the Golden Eagles. Up ahead to Ashley Wood. Saad to Fake. Good step from Bella Garrett. Here's Ashley Wood again. Ball ahead. Well defended. McKenna Turner has been everywhere. Berrigan, heavy first touch, gave it away. Allison Lee battling with Fake, winning out. Pace of play here has increased. Here's Neve Renwick. Turner the defender. Renwick. Great defending by the captain, McKenna Turner. Shouts for a penalty from the visiting bench and supporters that have traveled from Cookeville. But no whistle from the first official. Bella Garrett making way for Tori Satuyo. This is an aggressive substitution from Corey Boyd. This is a fullback coming off for an attacking-minded player in Tori Satuyo, who scored against Little Rock in that semifinal 325 days ago. So it's getting down to crunch time now for Tennessee Tech as they try and throw everything at the Trojans here to find an equalizer. Renwick, great bit of dribbling, might have a hit, will have a hit. Not a bad effort, was a good height, but too much curl to trouble the net there of Peyton Urban. It's been more of a physical game than the Trojans are used to playing here in 2024. They averaged the third fewest fouls per game, or at least coming into this one they did, with 5.22, now with 9 fouls on the day. It's been the nature of the contest. Here's Katie Toney having a go at Sherry Saad, and Nye trying to stand up that ball towards the back post. Renwick going to be able to get to this. Turner defending well, rising for the header, and Jacobs helping out with the clearance. Here's Meredith Nye. Well, good interplay from the Golden Eagles here. Nice ball from Toney back to Schruffel, who can pick out a ball in the area. Off her line is Urban. Toney's in the mix, and it's cleared off the line by Turner. Third goal line clearance for the Trojans, who just cling on to this 1-0 advantage. Schuller gets it clear. This could be a pattern here in the last 11 and a half minutes of the Trojans just clinging to this 1-0 advantage. Good pressing from Fake there. She was late on the challenge, and Tennessee Tech can go again. Here's Renwick, conference leading goal scorer. Defended by Sherry Saad. The senior and first-year Trojan has had an outstanding performance today. As the Trojans try and counter, Centeno is looking for Maria Schuller, who doesn't quite have the pace to chase that one down. Golden Eagles recycling possession and going again. First teamer from a year ago, Meredith Nye. Doing well in a tight situation there, as she's accustomed to. Good first-time ball. Kaylee Cuff is the defender. Looks like Little Rock has gone to a back five. it looks like Reagan Smiley is coming on for Allison Lee. Reagan Smiley scored here 2 years ago to preserve a undefeated conference schedule. Smiley will look to do a very similar thing as her side trails 1-0 late into this one. For Little Rock, Ruth Berrigan is coming on in the middle of the park, as Serenity Thake has been running everywhere this afternoon. She gets a rest, and then Abby Smith is on for the Trojans as well, with Maria Schuller up top. 10 minutes and change left in this one. Here's Katie Toney. Ball in towards the middle. It's a good one, but Urban is quick off of her line and first to it. Looks like it is just a back four, actually, from the Trojans. It's just Kaylee Cuff is in that left back position. Really the first time we've seen Cuff in that spot. Usually a center half. Here's Maria Schuller, freshman. Moving on to this one. She's going to be able to keep that in play, whip in a ball. It's a good service and a good clearance by Claire Palia. And it'll be a break here in the clock. Just a brief rest there for Serenity Thake, who's back on. Berrigan coming off. Thake, usually an attacking-minded player, does great getting back defensively and has been heroic defensively today, particularly in this second half with a couple of goal line clearances to keep things 1-0. Schuller in the corner, trying to win her side a set piece, unable to do so. And that will be a throw-in for the Trojans, as Ashley Wood was knocked off of possession there. And it'll be the senior Cameron Jacobs to take it. 9 minutes and change. Little Rock trying to hold on to what would be a huge victory in the tenure of Kelly Farrell here as head coach. Jacobs trying to whip one in the center. No targets in the mix, and the ball ran out of play anyhow. See Little Rock not trying to risk a whole lot here. Just trying to hold on to this 1-0. Good distribution from the keeper. That was out wide to Sotuyo, who started the game as a winger off the bench and now is a fullback for head coach Corey Boyd and the visitors. Another good ball from Conrad to Sotuyo. Schuller pressing. Here's Meredith Nye. Always good in possession, Tennessee Tech, but haven't been able to do much in the attacking third, as Amaya Arias there climbing the ladder and whistled for the foul. Meredith Nye with a ball out wide to Sotuyo. Runners in the area. Smiley was the target. Arias in the way. Back in there, and easy pickings for Peyton Urban, who's now just 7.5 minutes away from what would be her fourth clean sheet of the season. Ball gets past Nye towards the back line. Initial header clear. Rogan tried to head it back, but the freshman Ebba Malin, who's had a great afternoon on the back line for Tennessee Tech, clears it away. Space all of a sudden and time for Megan Rogan. Schuller trying to hold up her run and stay onside. Rogan looking for the freshman. Instead finds Claire Palia, the center half. It's a great ball from Palia up to Ashley Wood, who got to that first and then got it along to Neve Renwick. Here's the conference leading goal scorer, Renwick, finding Katie Toney. Last year's attacker of the year in the OVC. Having a go at the freshman Kaylee Cuff here on the near side. Toney, good bit of dribbling, but better bit of help there from Candace Kildare. Collision there behind the ball. And miscommunication as Schuller wanted that one played to her feet. And Rogan wanted the long ball there, but More precious seconds ticking off the clock for Little Rock. It's been a truly impressive defensive performance. It's a Little Rock side that's known across the OVC as defensively minded. They're good in their defensive shape, and they'll have to hold on here if they want the clean sheet. Reagan Smiley in possession. Here's Tony. Cuff was the defender. Out wide to Schruffel, who passes back to Ebba Malin. Options on the back post. Didn't want the long ball, Malin. Instead went short to Nye. That one's going to run away from Quadra, and Little Rock can possess. Rogan wanted to clear. Blocked by Nye and then cleared by Turner. Almost a clash of heads there, but didn't quite come together. Chance here for Schuller. Smith is the runner. Schuller unable to find Smith, who's now in an offside position, and the freshman's going to go at it alone here. Schuller trying to find a shooting lane, is able to do so and forced a very good save out of Maggie Conrad. Good work there from the freshman Schuller. The leading goal scorer for the Trojans, continuing to cause problems for this Tennessee Tech back line. Looks like she'll get a rest after going on that sprint there. Freshman for freshman substitution here. Maggie Turner. Looks like Abby Smith is going to come off as well. Oh no, Smith just getting some water for a cut there. Jetney Cook back on for Little Rock as well. Coming on for Cam Jacobs. It's been a terrific first start for Jetney Cook. Just 5 minutes left in this one. Sod's corner, front post, Turner's there. Tried to hit it on the volley. Good intervention that time from Tori Sutuyo to get in the way. 5 minutes left. Tech will have to travel the length of the pitch here. You see both sides just exhausted here in this 90-degree plus heat in Little Rock. Both coaches playing a tactical style that requires a ton of running from their players. Both teams like to press. Both teams like to possess as well, and instead of hoping for long balls over the top. That's a good release there. Sherry Sod, good defending. The freshman Turner does well to beat one. Looking for Abby Smith there. Well positioned was Claire Palia. Trojans trying to be the aggressors here in the final stage of this one and put this one to bed. Smith in the corner. Back to Jetney Cook. Turner can try and get her body in front of this one, keep it in play, but just unable to do so. Clock ticking here for Tennessee Tech. Maggie Conrad will get things going here with 3 minutes and change left. Turner trying to go on a run. Good ball towards Smith if she can keep it in play, and she does. Limited options in the middle here. Little Rock not trying to risk too much. Good serve. It's going to fall here for Rogan, who has a hit, and that was well blocked by Ebba Malin, who awarded Rogan the chance. And then Schruffel just has to clear. More time ticking. Kildare on the throw. Quadra keeps it in play. Back to Schruffel. Tech trying to play out from the back. Lee gets it along. Here's Skylar Williams, leading assist provider for Tech. Gets it up to Neve Renwick. Amaya Arias sticks in a good foot there and wins possession. Here's the freshman Turner. Heavy touch. Gets another to it. No free kick. And it's back. And now Maggie Conrad with it. Tennessee Tech will have to go the length of the pitch here in the final 2 minutes to try and find the equalizer. They've been defeated just once in regular season OVC matchups since 2021. Williams, Renwick running. Williams cutting back inside. Nye was a target instead to Tony. Nye might have a hit. She will on net. It's a good strike. And that was a just world-class save from Peyton Urban. That ball was just destined for the back corner. A beautiful strike from Meredith Nye. And just take a look at this brilliant goalkeeping from Peyton Urban. Oh, what a save from Peyton Urban. Coming across her body with the left hand, but still defending to do. 1 minute left into the area. Urban punches, and infraction spotted by the first official. And if Little Rock are able to hold on to these 3 points, that save should be shown on repeat. Peyton Urban, just terrific goalkeeping. 1 minute left now. Turner, clash of heads there. No whistle. It falls to Nye. The freshman, Kaylee Cuff, in the way. What a job that Kaylee Cuff has done today. Stepped in for McKenna Turner, who went down at the halfway mark with a huge 10-minute stint at the center back position, then moved over and played left back here in the latter stages. Smith the target. Great pace from Smith. That'll be a throw for the visitors. 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8.
Out of play from Katie Toney. And for just the second time since 2021, Tennessee Tech, the Golden Eagles, the back-to-back regular season champions, have been defeated